Hello, it's Melissa. Welcome back. So today I am going to be talking to you and discussing copyright. Now, with copyright, it can be extremely a difficult subject, and it really depends on the country that you're in as well, because copyright laws can be different for different countries too, and it depends on the legislation in your country. Bear in mind, with Outschool, we do have Canada, New Zealand, Australia, England, the United States. We all have slightly different laws when it comes to copyright, and lots of new teachers all the time are asking about copyright. What can I use? Can I use this? Can I use that? And even for existing teachers. So I'm going to share with you my opinion on what I do. So for myself, I have gathered information that, same with fairy tales, they are not copyrighted. And I think there's no copyright on them, I think for about 80 years or more, I'm not sure. I know that with classics such as Shakespeare, that's not copyrighted either. But the thing is, with fairy tales, what it is it's the images and the music that's used, and say even the voice with the voiceover of the actor. So when you are looking online, you need to find out whether you can use that material. And then you might have the other bonus, well, the other headache, as I suppose, bonus of having to purchase material for your class. When you're first starting out, you might not want to be spending lots of money, and especially say when it's out of season, because we're starting to see that Outschool could be seasonal, but with young children, things like this are quite popular. So I'm just going to show you what I do in Canva. So if this type of video is for you, please do smash that like button and subscribe. That's very much appreciated. Thank you. So here, what I'm showing you is Little Red Riding Hood that I've created myself. It's such a headache knowing what you can use and what you can't. With my children, I didn't just want to put on a video. Parents are paying for a lesson. Now, sometimes you can use videos, no problem, but I wanted to actually read a book to them so that they can start, ask about words, etc. So I've created this myself. Now, this is where the hours can really mount with Outschool. Some of you might say, you know what, Melissa, you're creating work for yourself, but at least I know that this is something I've created and doesn't belong to anybody else, and the spin of the story is different as well, so it's tailored to my lesson. I've even had children say, oh, Red Riding Hood, that's a bit of a different story from what I know. So I will be showing you how I created these graphics that are here, for example. And you've got the story here. So I actually rewrote the storyline is slightly different. So we have the wolf there. Here you can see there an image. So, you know, these birds I put Little Red Rising Hood there, and say a different type of wolf that we have here, which is grey, and here as well. So I used these and I wrote the story myself. And this is what I've done. I've added a policeman into this story just so that it's a bit different for the children when we are going to drama land, so they can talk about it. And I've even put in a video there here as well, which is our training basically to say, you know, the lesson's over, bye, or drama land is over, so to speak. Here in Canva, I will show you, you can actually just create your lessons in here and teach from here as well. You can put it into a classroom if you want to, onto Google Slides, and download it onto PowerPoint. And I was doing that for a while, and now I'm just saving my time. I'm like, why bother putting myself through all of that work if I don't need to? I know I'm keeping this account for a while. For example, there's hardly no point in me duplicating. So you can just teach from here. So this is a section of my lesson. This is not all of the lesson that I've created, but as you can see, Little Red Riding Hood, everybody knows the story. but this is what I do and the length that I go to avoid this copyright issue, because I've written that myself, and the images here that are on Canva are for reuse and for commercial reuse. So I don't have to worry that my lesson's going to be taken down, that I'm going to be in trouble, and nothing like that. So I'm going to show you basically how you can do that. And I've done all of this in Canva. I think Canva's great for that. And I think that creating something like this is quite simple. Some people might find it a bit difficult if you're not tech savvy, but for myself, I think it's really simplistic to use, and also here to put videos in here rather than the hardcore editing I used to be doing on my Mac before, before it died. It's here is so much more simple. So you would get the blank sheet. I generally use, you can go into presentation mode. So I will just put up the YouTube thumbnail, say there, but here, if you go to create design, I should have gone through this a little better. You have YouTube thumbnail, education presentation. You have all of these presentation. You can just go to presentation because then you can use it as slides directly here. So I use both a mixture of Google and here because it is free if you have a teaching account. So I have an educational account, so I showed my degree certificates for that. I'm not quite sure if you, yeah, you do need to have degree certificates to say that you're a teacher to apply, but you can just say that you're working for Outschool. That's fine as well. So here I just started with a blank page, and everything I created, as I say, I did myself. So if you go into templates here, the first thing that I did, I think I just kept that, was I went to elements, just there, and I said Little Red Riding Hood. Red Riding Hood. And I found an image that I liked, and I was like, yeah, you know what, I quite like her here, just there. So I've added her here, just there, like that. And also they have some ready-made images for you too. So here, that's already there. That's a ready-made image. So if I just delete her for a second here, now this really helps. It's called the magic recommendations. It's fantastic. So I was just like, wow, I can just write on top of there here and write the storyline like it's a book. So I did that. And then if you go over to text, and I chose this text here, just there, just moved it to just there. So you have the option as well of changing the size. So you might want it about 32. And you can just type away. So better than this, for demonstration purposes. I'm being a bit lazy here, as you can see. You can also change the fonts. So you just go here to change the fonts. You want to change that font, see how that changes. So you can use a font that matches your story. So I did that. Then I wanted some sort of line. So I just went to elements again. I said line. What was that one? Which one's a nice line? I thought, oh, this will be good just to sort of tie that off. Make that smaller, keep that like that. Go to this section here for the colour, and then you can change it to whatever colour you want. If you wanted red, for example, you could choose that, or it might just choose black and keep it like that. For a new page, you just click Add Page, and you just continue your presentation like so, and it automatically saves. You can go to File and you can add it here. So I might just say the Little Red Riding Hood. I'm not wanting to keep this further away, so I don't want to get confused. So you just leave it like that. If you want to build up an image, because you might want to, like I have done with some points, please. And it's really just being creative and think to yourself, well, what can I add in here? What can I sort of duplicate or add? So you might want to add some trees in here. Oh, we've got palm trees there, that's awesome. And hills. Just cheat and use this a bit and put that there. Say, for example, I've got this here and I want to put this here. You can't at the moment, it's like that. But if you go to its position, no, here, there's a section actually where you can move it to the back or move it to the front. That's just not working right now. Let's do that. So it's blanked out there. I'm not quite sure why that's blanked out at the moment. It didn't before. I was just able to just slide that here. There it is. So here, bring forward, and I just literally left click to bring it forward, or you can bring it to the back. So bring forward, bring to front, centre back. There we go. So it's little things like this that can just sometimes be a bit fiddly, or I don't know why. So you've got the idea of what you can do. Sometimes it can be a bit glitchy, but I've got it there in the end. And you can just do that. So then I might say I want to add a woodcutter. That's here. You might want to put a woodcutter in your story just there. Say I wanted a woodcutter, and make it bigger, and then I want a book. So you're getting the picture of what you're literally doing. Let's get him because he's a sly little wolf, but he's not too scary. Put him there, Red Riding Hood. Is that you can do all of this. Yeah, and you can really use your imagination with what you're doing too. So you've got all of that there. If you wanted images and to really rewrite the story, you can just write the story like so and keep adding those pages. If you want video, you can add the video here, for example. So if you want a video of a train, like I use a train, I just literally press train and went through. So you've got all of the images that you need. It's just how you put these together. There are lots and lots of functions on Canva. There are so many functions that I just can't show you in this one video. But lots of us know how to use Canva, but using it in a particular way for what we're doing is very different. So this is how, and if you do like this video, please subscribe. This is how I have been creating my content when it comes to certain books like fairy tales, certain dramas, and it does take up that time. But as I say, then it is saved and you can just go home here, press home button, and then your designs are saved below. So you've got all the designs here that I've created that are there, and you have social media, events, marketing documents, video, school, personal. You can literally eat your heart out with the content that you've got. So I hope that this has been useful to you. I hope that you can take something away from this video with how I've done that with creating my own content, because I think that will answer a lot of questions, because I have had a lot of questions in the Facebook group, and please do join the Facebook group. The link is down below to join. Lots of people have been messaging me saying, well, what do you do about copyright? And this is what I do. This is how I get around it. I have asked publishers before. I asked one publisher, I say publishers, I asked one publisher if I could read their book. Crickets, didn't hear anything. And this was in the height of the summer. I wasn't going to waste time crying over one book when I had so many others and I could just do this. So it was more of an academic book anyway that wouldn't have really, well, I say academic, well, it's more for older children to study the hardcore English language and literature devices. So it wouldn't have been a hit in that in the summer anyway, because it was all fun lessons during that time. Right, so that's it for today. As I say, please do give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Do join the family. And if you are interested in joining Outschool, then my referral link is below. I do speak with all of those who I use for referrals. In fact, I speak to those and give advice to those who don't use me as a referral either. I think Outschool is a great company and I'm really wanting to spread the love, so to speak. So please do join the family. And if you are from England, you know, there's a growing English community here. We are spreading the word about Outschool. As I say, well, thank you very much for watching.